Hello, and welcome back to the Simple Immersive English podcast. I'm so happy to have you back for episode number 2. My name is Kate, and I will be your host today. On the first episode, I talked a bit about why I wanted to start this podcast, and I hope you all enjoyed that episode and maybe learned something new from it. And maybe you can learn something new today also. And today, I have a somewhat special episode for you all because it is time sensitive. That means that this episode is especially relevant for right now. That means that this episode really suits the time. It fits the date of the month and the time of year that we are in right now, which is currently December 20th, which means it is only 5 more days left until Christmas. So I thought, in the spirit of the holidays, I would talk to you all about Christmas traditions. So let's start with traditions. A tradition is something that people do every year or regularly to celebrate a special day or a holiday. So people can have birthday traditions, such as maybe they always get the same flavor of cake. Maybe every year it's their tradition to get a chocolate cake for their birthday. That's their special birthday tradition. And of course, you can have holiday traditions like Christmas traditions. So that is what we are going to talk about today. And I know that people celebrate Christmas differently in different parts of the world. And even within the same part of the world, different families and different communities can celebrate differently. So I'm going to talk a little bit broadly about some common Christmas traditions, and then maybe I'll share a few of my traditions from my family. So the Christmas traditions actually start much before Christmas, don't they? First, they start with putting up decorations. And decorations are the things you use to decorate with in your house, and sometimes they're on the street too, or in stores. Some common Christmas decorations are wreaths, which are the circles made out of pine trees. The green circles made of leaves is called a wreath. And also there's ornaments, which are the colorful balls and shapes and stars and little animals, all the little things that you hang on the Christmas tree are called the ornaments. And you can also hang ornaments on a wreath if you want to. And let's see, there's also mistletoe. And mistletoe is a plant that you hang from the ceiling or from another tall place, and then they say that if you're standing under the mistletoe with someone else, then you two have to kiss, if you want to. But that's what they say. So that's another Christmas decoration. And I think that's a Christmas decoration because mistletoe is visible in the wintertime. Of course, more recently, I've seen a lot of blow-up decorations. So kind of like Halloween decorations almost, where people have Christmas characters like snowmen, like Olaf the snowman from Frozen, or candy canes, or big Santa Clauses, and they are made out of plastic that's soft and they blow air into it, and I would call that an inflatable decoration, I guess. So a blow up, something like that. So I've seen that a little bit recently also. And of course, if you go shopping, which a lot of people do around Christmas time, if you go to the mall or even to smaller stores, you can see Christmas window displays, a special decoration inside the front window of the store. And sometimes in these displays, the people who work in the store will draw pictures on the window with special glass markers, such as they might draw snowflakes, or again snowmen, or they might just write happy holidays or something like that. And recently I've been really enjoying walking along the street and seeing all the fun displays that all the stores have set up. Okay, so those are some of the decorations that we see around Christmas time. But what else is there? I think another Christmas tradition is having a lot of parties. And maybe certain friend groups have their own special party. But some of the common ones that I know about are, number one, the ugly sweater party. And at this sort of party, the goal is that every person who attends the party, all the guests of the party, each person comes in the ugliest sweater that they can find. And normally it's a Christmas sweater. So sometimes these sweaters might have like huge reindeer on them, or pom-poms. Pom-poms are the little like balls of yarn, of string, that are stuck onto the sweater so that it looks kind of fun and crazy. There are many, many types of ugly sweaters, ugly Christmas sweaters, but that's a pretty fun tradition that I know about. Another one is called the White Elephant Party. And at this sort of party, every guest brings a present, and they don't tell anybody else what is in the present. So obviously it's wrapped up with wrapping paper. It's covered up with the paper, so no one can see what's inside. So everyone goes to the party, and you take turns. So one person decides, or the group decides, that one person will go first, and all the presents are put in one area, and the first person picks a present. They pick any present they want from the collection. And then in front of everybody, they open the present, and it might be something really good, or it might be something really bad. And actually, for a White Elephant Party, it's good if a few people bring a bad present. It's kind of like a fun prank. A prank is like a joke. So it's funny when someone brings something bad. Because then what happens is that the second person opens up their present that they pick. And the cool thing is that if they see the first person's present and they think that that present is better, then the second person can steal, they can take the first person's present away from them. And then they get the first present, and the first person gets the second present. So it's kind of like a big game where presents are traded and exchanged, and people get a present and they get excited, and then someone else takes it, and then they end up with a new present, and it's very fun, a White Elephant Party. Maybe you should play with your friends. If not this year, then maybe next year. Another common party is a Secret Santa party. And this is a little similar to the White Elephant Party, but without so much of a game. But this party requires some more planning and thinking from all the guests. So before the Secret Santa party, maybe a few days to a week before, all the guests come together, or somehow they choose names. All the names of the guests who will be attending the party are put together, and then each person gets one name of someone else who will be at the party. And let's say they choose a week before. Then for the rest of that week, the person has to get a gift, especially for the person whose name that they picked. So that's a little complicated, but essentially, to go over it one more time, they get a paper with another person's name on it, and that person who is on their paper is who they have to buy a gift for. And also before the party, everybody wraps up the gifts, covers it with paper, and writes the name of the person who it's for. So at the party, when all the gifts are put in the center, everyone closes their eyes and puts the gifts in the center so you can't see who is giving any present. And then everyone goes to the center and finds their gift and opens it. And then normally everyone tries to guess who was their secret Santa. And that's why it's called Secret Santa, because it's a mystery who gave you the gift. Both White Elephant and Secret Santa are a very fun way to give gifts to your group of friends if you have a lot of friends and you don't have time or something to get a gift for everyone. And these also work well for school groups or office parties or that sort of thing. So yeah, those are some of the fun party ideas that come around Christmas time. Okay, so another big Christmas tradition is obviously the Christmas tree. And there are all sorts of trees, and I think it's very interesting. I just read this the other day, that there are different types of trees that are most popular for Christmas trees in different countries. So, for example, in the US, some of the popular types of trees that are used for Christmas trees are balsam firs, which grow a lot in the northern part of the country for sure. But where my family is from, in North Carolina, they have a lot of Fraser pines. So that is a type of tree called a Fraser pine, and that is the type of tree that my family bought this year. Another interesting thing is that some people choose to buy a live tree that is cut down, but a lot of other people now buy the fake trees. We call them artificial trees, and they're made of plastic, and sometimes they plug into the wall and have lights already in them. And sometimes these artificial trees can be different colors also, like I've seen white artificial Christmas trees. I think I've even seen maybe a pink one time, so they can look pretty fun. And some people really like their artificial tree, and some people feel very strongly about getting a living tree, a live tree. Another option is to get a still living tree, so a smaller tree that is in a pot that you can bring into your house and decorate, rather than a tree that is cut down. So those are all the options for trees. Sometimes people even decorate other types of plants like a cactus, a Christmas cactus, but maybe not so often. Anyway, so then once you have your tree, you have to decorate it. And again, people put ornaments on the tree. People put lights on the tree. Normally they're white or sometimes multicolored. Multicolored meaning many different colors. And then also, sometimes people put something called tinsel on their tree. Tinsel is like little strips of metal, I think. Little strips of shiny, it's like little strings that are shiny and silver, and you drape them, you place them over the top of the branches so that they fall down and glitter. They look very pretty. So that's the Christmas tree. And then that's all happening throughout the month of December. And then as Christmas starts to approach, we have Christmas Eve. And Christmas Eve is honestly, I think, maybe my favorite day, even more than Christmas, because it's so exciting everyone's looking forward to Christmas and it's almost there. And one tradition that my family has on Christmas Eve is we normally have a fun dinner that night. And then also on the night of Christmas Eve, we normally open one tiny present. Also on Christmas Eve, you have to bake cookies, or at least get cookies, and put them on a plate and fill up a glass of milk and get some carrots if you have them, and leave all of that by the fireplace or by the tree on a little table or a little chair. And these are snacks for Santa Claus and his reindeers for when they come on Christmas Eve, when everyone goes to sleep. So that is a very important step. And then everyone goes to sleep, and then you wake up in the morning, and if there's children, normally that is very early in the morning, maybe 6 a.m., 6 o'clock in the morning. If there are older people, maybe 7, maybe 8 o'clock in the morning, it depends. But everyone wakes up and everyone opens gifts, and it's really fun. And also, normally, at least in my family, we also hang stockings on the fireplace. Stocking is an old word for like a high sock, a very tall sock. And the Christmas stockings, I don't think you could actually wear them because they're very wide, but they look like a sock. And normally stockings are filled with small little treats like chocolates or other candies, or like a little gift, or sometimes funny gifts too, like little games. Actually, the little gifts that you put in stockings are called stocking stuffers. So little gifts that you can get and to put in stockings to stuff them, to make them look very full. So yes, people open their presents, you look at your stocking. Sometimes people have breakfast or brunch. Brunch is the meal in between breakfast and lunch. Some people have lunch. Sometimes people go to more parties, see more friends. Normally, Christmas can be a very social day when you see a lot of people, or it can be a day when you spend more time with your close family. It just depends. Everyone has different traditions. In my family, one of my favorite traditions is normally we eat something called a chocolate silk pie. Chocolate silk pie is like a chocolate pudding pie with whipped cream and a graham cracker crust, which is very, very delicious. And so yeah, that's it, really. Tell me in the comments, do you celebrate Christmas? Or do you know people who celebrate Christmas? And what special traditions do you have? Or what special traditions are you looking to make? Which ones do you want to start? Because you can start any tradition you want. And also, please share with me, do you have any questions from this episode? Were there any words or phrases that you are still confused about? I will be happy to try to answer the questions. And also, please tell me, did I speak too quickly in this episode? Or did I mumble? Did my words get pushed together too much so that you could not understand what I was saying? Please let me know how the level was, if you want a little slower and clearer, or if it was okay how I was speaking. And with that, thank you so much for listening to episode number 2 of the Simple Immersive English podcast. And I really hope you learned something, and I really hope you have a happy holidays, happy new year, wherever you are. And thank you for listening. Bye-bye.